And unlike in my case, that wouldn't be technicalities. That would be actual criminal law. So interesting thing. I also noticed this. And then you look at this before, and it could have a very good excuse saying, I don't know, app is glitch, internet is slow, whatever. Now, not quite. Now again, one would have seen the red flag by the fact that they're not haven't stopped doing the backups, haven't stopped doing multiple backups, haven't stopped recording on other phones by their own. But nope. Again, if you want to be smart, you want to be more criminal, right? And even being more criminal wouldn't become the piss in the shares they have. So once they are strong against one person and one person only. Meeting people who are not as who are actually strong and not strong just against one person. Where is the bottom of the page? Now, note also that this is now, after all the tamperings and after all the interference is already done. So if done after, it could even have some purposes. But now we have the best of both worlds. Get to see how artificial that is, how it has no correlation to before, how bypassed it just was. Final thing you can do is interesting. Um, I can uninstall and install again. This one not disappearing. Don't know how to do that in this one. Can't flip the space. Nausea in the air. What are those criminals you see by face? Go-to solution. Every time their stupid retarded plans don't work. And what does that make them? Whenever something that the genius plans don't play out to be so genius as they think, what is that go-to solution every single time? And what does that make them? No, they're also criminals for children. They're also war criminals. They're also other things. But the drugs, as I said before, are the backbone of their crimes. Without the drugs, their crimes be near nothing. And you get to see this. Just in case you see, the first thing it loads there has a no bottom on the page. So you understand. Again, with no bottom on the page. So you understand. And no top either. Just clipped. Oh. Some interactions with removes that more faces would see. And here's how to bypass that in the simplest way possible. I could do it, but no, no, not here. This is the level of arrogance they became known for and caused this narrative by you. Back to you. So, as I was telling that, because again, as I said before, those one of the things that the actual thing matters less than the appearance. Because if you're watching this back home and you're seeing that someone straight up can look at that again, this is an official Google app. I just saw it linking up to the Play Store and ends up like this as it was, right? And they people are very freaked out about data, right? You saw that happen before. Can you imagine that how much of a fuss that was when it happened because it's a huge market as it grows? And nothing associated with this crime, the drug crimes, the drugs in particular, and everything that goes along with that, and the criminals involved with that. And then you have to see the this. Um, as I proposed to you before, in uncertain terms. First off, you can upload through this. It's just on the bottom disappears there, as you get to see. So that is that. Secondly, and so it was a good idea not to need access to the web page. This should be necessary. And secondly, um, everything else that goes along. So if at any point you need support, as I said to you, from anything from financials to just expertise, show this. No uncertain terms. Because as I pointed out, first off, they're still using that Wi-Fi for the record. So keep that in mind. And by the way, does any of this look like it's supposed to doing what it's supposed to do? But that doesn't matter. Because, yeah, they're going to say that the chances of this being possible without some hardware augmentation, do you think anyone gives a shit? Do you think a businessman is going to give a shit about that? Do you think that your mom is going to care about that when she's buying a phone or just acting up and saying other things? What you get to see is that's going to cause a lot of stir, not on shit countries, but in other places that actually base the entire, those places. Okay, after you've been abused for at least 2 years, it doesn't have to be the full length of this crime. After 2 years, then I list you a commentary about your PC commentary. But as of now, quite simply, in very quick terms, the the results of that as it goes. And as I said, one of the things, the red flags on the fact that quite literally underneath the ground to do physical hard copies of the files before any of this. But I want you to memorize it, if possible. Just remember later the other criminals, the ones being accused of murder and the other things, they're now gonna have backings of people who really be concerned about. Because again, as I said, no, I think I said most things I had to say. There's a massive release of drugs right now. You can see me struggling. That's why I was forcing through. Some things I don't have to say, I can just show. And although this is annoying, it's all it is. You can see the things should get uploaded as they go. Um, so it's more about the delays on the internet. It feels way more like it's an attempt to attack the phone than anything else. So let's do it like this. Quite in line with the catcher that you saw earlier, except that, as I said before, we receive catcher messages on the other phone on a daily basis because, yes, other people see it. And most importantly, this starting now. If this was indeed just an attack, this would have been day one. And this phone has been with us for a 128 gigabyte worth of data. Yeah, being abundant on that one, but at the end of the day, it's still 1 month or so. Okay, so again, as I said, the glitches and the security measures, they only function when the criminals wanted to, which is actually the point. That's the part that's gonna scare the shit out of everyone, and that's the part that is actually gonna drag a lot of serious concerns on companies that wouldn't care less about. Or you know, they got some grown-ups gonna explain what the problem that is, and I don't need to dive too much on that. Good job.